I'm happy to join with my friend Senator Crapo again this year. We're going to reintroduce the Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act of 2013. I've said many times on the Senate floor from my own experience in law enforcement, you can't, a victim is a victim is a victim, and the police don't pick and choose and say, well, we can try to protect this victim but not this victim. They want the tools to stop all of it. And if you'd ever been to one of these scenes and seen that, and know that it's possible that we can take steps that might avoid some of this violence, you'd want to move and move very quickly. So every day we wait, it's at human cost. I want to move quickly. The president has assured me that if we do a bill, we may have to make changes with the House, who knows, but basically what we have here, he will sign it. So, Senator Crapo, I know you have to be at another meeting, and we did this on short notice, but please go ahead.
Well, thank you, Senator Leahy. I appreciate this opportunity again to reintroduce the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act. And this year, for nearly 2 decades, the Violence Against Women Act has been the centerpiece of our nation's commitment to ending domestic violence, dating violence, and sexual violence. Congress reauthorized VAWA in 2000 and again in 2005 with overwhelming bipartisan support, and it's my hope and expectation that we will achieve that again in this Congress.
Stopping violence against women should not be a political football or a partisan issue. The Violence Against Women Act was reauthorized by unanimous consent in 2000 and again in 2005. So, Senators, your early and bipartisan introduction of this bill sets the stage and demonstrates your understanding of the importance of a Violence Against Women Act that safely and effectively protects all victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking.
I'll never forget, I was a brand new, relatively new prosecutor. And in fact, my background is I was a murder prosecutor. I went to the first murder scene I had ever been to, and I'll never forget that scene because a woman named Tracy Winship was the victim, and a man named James Golightly was the defendant and the perpetrator, and he murdered her and then murdered himself. And I will never forget it because we went up into the scene. It was in the upstairs room of her house. She had a restraining order against him. He snuck into her house, went into the closet, and she went up into her room to get ready for bed, and he murdered her and then murdered himself. And I can only imagine, I remember walking into that scene thinking about the fear that she must have felt, even though she had a restraining order, when she saw him in her room. Victims come from every single demographic background, every single socioeconomic background, and absolutely it doesn't matter what your background is as a victim. If you are a victim of violence, then you should first of all get all of the support you need and deserve, you and your family. And also, the defendants who commit these crimes need to be held accountable. We need to reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act because this continues to be a critical need in our country. I am hopeful that the Senate will take this up very quickly, that the House in turn will pass it quickly, and we will make sure that the Violence Against Women Act gets reauthorized.
I listened to, these have been prosecutors, these have been advocates. Somehow, in this room, we're in a way we're preachers are converted. But for 8 years, I went to every single murder scene that happened in my county. I still have nightmares of some of those. And I'd say in almost the vast majority of them, we kept asking this question, what if? What if somebody could have been there to have helped earlier? What if the person had had someone they could have gone to and said, I need help? What if there'd been a safe home? And when you stand there, this is not like a glamorized thing in a movie or television. You're standing there in the middle of the night, and you're watching what happened. And if you don't have those memories for the rest of your life, then you don't have a soul. What we have to do, however, is to lessen the number of people throughout this country who will have those memories, but far more importantly, lessen the number of victims. It won't stop all violence, but it will dramatically lower it. It'll give people a place to go. So I applaud the Republicans and Democrats alike who've joined on this. It is something that should be done. Nobody's in favor of violence. Well, let's all be in favor of stopping violence. Thank you.